Narayana. Hari Om and good evening from Seattle. A couple had gone out for dinner, and when they got their bill, then the wife had paid for this bill, and the waiter, he hadn't come back for some time. So then the wife saw this waiter, waved at him and said, "I gave you a $20 bill and the bill was $15. Where's my change?" And the waiter said, "Change comes from within." Remember I told you to remind me of that lame joke relating to change comes from within. Lame, yes, but see how funny it is? Now what's epic is I got to speak at Amazon yesterday, and there was 200 people there live, 200 people connected from all over the place, from Ireland and Morocco and so on. And I began my talk sharing competition, criticism, and contentment are all subjective. When someone receives criticism, some take it personally, some don't take it personally. This is subjective. Contentment undoubtedly is subjective. And in corporate environments like that, rarely is that subjectivity touched upon. It's usually objectivity that's driven. People were happy with this new way to look at performance reviews, a new way to look at people on their team. In my mind, I was thinking, you should all study Atma Bodha. This is a course in a subjective science. All we've been doing, this is class 24, is studying the subject and how the subject should live. Atma Bodha, like all of Acharya Shankara's texts, are known as Shastras. A Shastra is imminent. It is immediate. It's right in front of us. We can relate to this as we are. A Shastra is also transcendental. It is distant. It is where we want to be. This Shastra we're studying is a journey from someone who's dependently joyous, trying to go deeper into life and into who we are, to find that independent joy. This is our journey, from ignorance to enlightenment. The shlokas that we've studied recently and today, these are our future biography. Maybe this is already your biography. You're enlightened, but you're in this class just to make me feel better. All of you are thinking, yes, of course, Vivek. Gee, this is why we're in this class. In Shloka 49, we studied that Tyaga leads to sannyasa. Tyaga is knowing what I'm not, and the clearer I know what I'm not, the clearer I know what I am. Tyaga leads to sannyasa, and our sutra was one identification, many renunciations. I hold on to the spirit, I slowly let go of the dependency on the body, the breath, the mind, and so on. In Shloka 50, we studied how the more that we help ourselves, the more we can help others. The more I have inner enemies, the more I have outer enemies. Acharya Shankara is teaching us to destroy the demons, not outside, but inside. And the sutra here is journey from darkness to light. We studied in Shloka 51 when one becomes more and more inward looking, one begins to see the light, that is, feel the light. And after that, there is only light. It doesn't matter where one goes, what one does. And this reminds me of a great Sanskrit word, avatishtati. Avatishtati means standing while moving, or centered while being dynamic. When I find my balance, I can be in the most imbalanced environments and still not be imbalanced. And I think I gave the example of when you go to Mother Ganga in Bharat, and you go to these ghats, these steps that lead to the river, you hold on to that chain and then you play in the water. But if you let go of that chain, you get washed away. Unless you know how to swim, but most people there don't know how to swim. The enlightened person is someone who knows how to swim. This is what we're training ourselves in. The sutra here is focus on light's flow. That's what they apostrophe, the possessive. Light only flows outward. How many of you met last week? By show of hands. Okay, let me see who I like and who I don't like. Okay. I'm just going to look down at my book right now. We continue with Shloka 52. We're going to study 4 shlokas today, all describing an enlightened person. Upadistopi tad dharmehi. Upadistopi tad dharmehi. Alipto vyoma vanmunihi. Alipto vyoma vanmunihi. Sarva vinmudavatishtet. Sarva vinmudavatishtet. Asakto vayuvaccharet. Together. Upadistopi tad dharmehi. Alipto vyoma vanmunihi. Sarva vinmudavatishtet. Asakto vayuvaccharet. Acharya Shankara says here, Upadi staha api. Being close to an upadi, that is an equipment, a vehicle, tat dharmehi, being close to that, you assume the limitations of that equipment, of that vehicle. All that you're close to, you get associated with. True? If you live in America and there's gun violence in some state in America, and people generalize, in your state too, are you safe walking in your neighborhood? There's an association, right? If you associate with friends who are insecure, you start to feel insecure also. Whatever we're close to, we start associating their qualities on us and us on them. Alipto, being free, untainted, Vyomavat munihi. Like space is someone who is a thinker. Someone who thinks. They are like space. Space is associated with a car accident we just saw, a forest fire, a gun. But that space is free of any gunpowder, any ash, any fuel. And someone who thinks is the same way. What does munihi mean? When I say muni, what do you all think of? You think of saint, sage. When I say saint, sage, what do you think of? Old man, long white beard. He has one of those sticks he has to rest his hand on, correct? Vyasa's Chudakarana is June 4th. It's a little while before his 1-year birthday. So on June 4th, Vyasa and I are going to shave our head. It would have been 2.5 years for me. So now my hair is long enough for a jata. It's you can see the jata that's up there. And I told Sheila that for the next 2.5 months that I'm not going to shave either. So I'm gonna, if I can't be a muni internally, I'm gonna try to be a muni externally. But what muni means, and this is a beautiful definition, a most inclusive definition, manana shilavan iti munihi. Manana shilavan, one who has good conduct when it comes to reflecting. Good conduct in reflecting means they're perpetually reflecting. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, when indications of a wise person are shared, this is one of them. No moment, no experience passes without them learning about themselves, about life. Sarvavit mudavat tishted. Sarvavit, someone who knows everything. Mudavat, like a fool. Tishted, they are aloof, they are unattached. Someone who thinks, knows everything, and they are aloof like a fool, like someone who's in their own world. Bringing this to light more. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna shares in chapter 2, again, indications of a wise person. A wise person is sleeping while everyone else is awake. When everyone else is awake to living for pleasure and possession and position, what is a wise person doing? Sleeping. I'm sleeping while you're doing that. A wise person is awake and a foolish person is sleeping. The wise person is awake to peace and the foolish person is asleep to peace. Mudavat means they're foolish when it comes to foolish matters. So does it even matter then? It doesn't. They're unconcerned about the car one drives, unconcerned about the wrinkles on their skin. They are concerned and are reveling in infinitude, sarvavit. In Moha Mudgara, we studied a shloka like this, where an enlightened person is balavat. They're like a infant, like a child. They are unmatvat. They are like a mad person, like someone who is living in a different reality. And Gurudev wrote in the commentary on that shloka, pishachavat. They are like a ghost. A ghost is not scared of anyone. Such depth. If you're all thinking, kids and mad people and ghosts are not my role models, so what am I supposed to do with this line? Live simply. That's what this line is teaching us. Someone who lives simply knows when to turn it on and when to turn it off. They know when to be competitive in a corporation. They know when to turn that off and feel that contentment. They know when to act as a fool while still remaining avatishtati, balanced. Asaktaha, this person is free, no weight. Vayuvat, like the wind. Charet, they flow. If you think of the wind in Seattle, or Portland, or Raleigh, or London, the wind is unstoppable. None of us can stop the wind. Someone who is free becomes the most powerful type of person. And most powerful here means, like the wind, like a hurricane, they're most impactful. Nobody can touch our lives like someone described in this shloka. When we had studied this in the ashram, this was my favorite shloka. There's a message in this shloka that really reaches out to my heart to be like this, to be impactful like a hurricane, yet not needing to be a hurricane. Here is your sutra for Shloka 52. Reflecting is relieving. Reflecting is relieving. When you reflect on your nature, you start to relieve yourself of the weight of attachment, the weight of expectations, and on and on and on. Fine? We continue with our future biography. Upadi vilayad Vishnau.
Upadi Vilaya Vishnu
Nirvishesham vishen munihi.
Nirvishesham Vishe Munihi
Jale jalam vyad vyomni.
Jale Jalam Vyadyomi
Tejas tejasi vayatha.
Tejas Tejasi Vayatha
Together. Upadi vilayad Vishnau. Nirvishesham vishen munihi. Jale jalam vyad vyomni. Tejas tejasi vayatha. Acharya Shankara says, Upadi, that is the equipments, vilayat, when we are relieved of them, when they are destroyed, what remains? Vishnu. Here, destruction, you have to understand at a functional level. It doesn't mean you destroy the body, that I commit suicide. It doesn't mean you destroy the mind, that you intake surreal amounts of intoxicants to destroy the way the mind thinks. Here, destruction means withdrawing one's identification. That I'm not identified with the body. This truly is an equipment that I use. I'm not used by this. For someone who's a jivan mukta, that's liberated while living, and another person is videha mukta, liberated while dying, is there a difference? Jivan mukta, videha mukta, is there a difference? When someone is mukta, period, it doesn't matter how you describe the first part of them, with body, without body, if they're free, while living, that body is a separate entity and they are a separate entity. And they're free while they're dying, they're still separate from that entity, so it doesn't matter. This is a functional destruction. Enlightenment is a vision. It is how one uses these equipments. One is not subject to these limitations. And what remains? Vishnu. What was, what is, what will be? Vishnu. Vishnu means the one who has entered all. The one who's entered all is the one who is all. That means you. When someone says, who are you? You should write Vishnu. That's the truth. Every other name you use is a lie. Our real name is Vishnu. Nirvishesham. Completely. Vishen munihi. Absorbed is this munihi. The thinker. The one who's reflecting. Totally absorbed. Another way to think of this is nirvikalpa samadhi. Sam means well, a means fully, dhi means placed. Vikalpa means with change. Nirvikalpa means with no change. They are identified with Vishnu, well and fully, without change. That's what this second line is indicating. Absoluteness. There's no lesser experience than enlightenment. Rishi Patanjali describes in a most objective way what it means to be engaged in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So try to remember this number. 20,736. 20,736 seconds. When you can think of the same subject for 20,736 seconds, that's Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Should we try for 20 seconds first? This is like 6 hours. If you divide that by 60 seconds to get to minutes and to hours, it requires lifetimes of training in unitasking to have such levels of focus, concentration. But possible. Otherwise, why would Acharya Shankara have written about this? Jale jalam, like water going into water. Vyad vyomni, like space going into space. When I take the water in my water bottle and I pour it into a pot that has water in it already, can I separate those waters? I want my water bottle water back. This is from this part of Seattle, that's that part of Seattle's water. This is better, I don't want this water. Possible. What about space with space? Any vessel you have in your home right now, I want you to break it and see what happens to the space in that vessel and outside of that vessel. There is no separation when you do this. When one is enlightened, there's no separation, which means there's no ego. Just visualize, never taking any word from anyone personally. Try, after I'm done speaking, to go into a mirror, look at a mirror, and start complimenting yourself. You're the best driver I know. Your teeth are so shiny. You've made great decisions in life. Are you going to take that personally? Or spin it around. I don't know anyone who's lost more games in their life than you. You're the worst financial investor. Are you going to take that personally also? When there's oneness, you stop taking comments personally, you stop making comments in a personal way. Such practicality. Tejas, tejasi, like light blending into light. Vayata, these are all examples of someone who's enlightened. I had read recently that someone was speaking negatively about Swami Ramatirtha. He's a great sadhu from back in the day. And what he responded to the people who were informing him that such and such people are speaking negatively about him, he said, no worries, my friends, the earth and water and fire and air and space, these are my friends forever. What strength to think that the elements are his friends. What a vision Swami Ramatirtha would have, that he's not separate from the elements. You're all thinking, that means he had no friends, Vivekji. See, why are you thinking that? Here we're studying Atma Bodha, and you're still thinking of this from a freshman in college's perspective. Right? If I keep thinking like that, why study Atma Bodha? Right? Go look at someone's Facebook profile. Start trolling. This is a course in being deeper. Here is our sutra. Surrender makes one stronger. Surrender makes one stronger. That was 53. We go to 54. This is a most wonderful shloka. Yallabhana paro labho.
Yallabhana paro labho.
Yat sukana param sukham.
Yat sukhana param sukham.
Yajnana na param jnanam.
Yajnana
na param jnanam. Tad brahmetya vadharayet.
Tad brahmetya vadharayet.
Together. Yallabhana paro labho. Yat sukhana param sukham. Yajnanana param jnanam tad brahmetyavadharayet. Yat labhat na aparaha labhaha. When one gains enlightenment, when one gains freedom, when one gains independent joy, there is no other gain. This is a factual highest gain. Trying to simplify this. What does Vairagya mean? Vairagya can mean independence. We've studied that. Another way to think of Vairagya is a passion for giving. It's a dispassion for getting, only possible if you have a passion for giving. Now, if you have a passion for giving, that means you have nothing to gain, correct? Someone whose life is dedicated to giving, they're not in that for gain. And for someone who has nothing to gain, they have nothing to lose. So they are fearless. This first line is teaching us that one who's enlightened is fearless. In Sanskrit we say, Vairagya abhaya. For someone whose life is dedicated to giving more than what they take, they are fearless. Yat sukhat na aparam sukham. When someone has experienced this sukham, there is no other sukham that becomes fascinating, swaying. Opening this up, what does kham mean? Space. Sukham, a good space, the best space. The best space is in here. The best space is in here. It is not in the context. In the second line we learn, someone who's the strongest, they do not live in a contextual way. They live in a content way. Someone who lives in a content way is content, no? Indians sometimes mix the enunciation of that, right? I'm very content. And it's true, in a philosophical way, it's quite true. You being content leads you to being content. And if you're content, it's because you're focusing on the content. See how open-hearted Indians are when it comes to enunciating words. They are not context-based. Yat jnanat na aparam jnanam. When one knows who they are, there is no more to be known. We'll focus on the word jignasu. How many of you have heard of the word jignasu before? Jignasu essentially means someone who is curious. They want to know, they want to know, they want to know. And I think there's a saying, curiosity killed the cat. This is a true statement. And we think this is complicated. What does that even mean, curiosity killed the cat? But this cat was so curious that it went into an unsafe place. Here, Acharya Shankara is saying, all curiosity comes to a completion. One who knows who they are, they know all then. I'm putting this into an example. If you know water, then you know the Pacific Ocean, right? If you're in Seattle. If you know water, you know the Atlantic Ocean, if you're in New Jersey. Why do we keep trying to study oceans when we should study water? Study energy. Study existence. Then one knows all. Tat Brahma iti avadharayet. This is Brahman. And this Brahman is to be realized, is to be felt. In this fourth line, Acharya Shankara is asking all of us, what are you doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing today? What have you been doing forever when this is Brahman? Reading the descriptions of Brahman, Is there anything else to be done other than dedicating one's life to this? Here is our sutra. The pursuit has an end. The pursuit has an end. The only person not pursuing peace is the one who's peaceful, right? In this shloka we studied the end of our pursuit. 55. Yadrishtva na param drishyam
Yadrishva na param drishyam
Yadbhutva na punarbhavaha Yajñatva na param nyeyam
Yajñatva na param nyeyam
Tad brahmetyavadharayet.
Tad brahmetya vadharayet.
Together. Yadrishtva na param drishyam Yadbhutva na punarbhavaha Yajñatva na param neyam Tad brahmetyavadharayet. Acharya Shankara says here, having seen this, there is nothing else to be seen. When you've seen all, you're called a seer, called a rishi. This first line highlights when one has seen that which is the best, when one has seen independent joy, they stop feeling insecure when they hear other people who say, I've seen the top of Mount Everest. I've seen the White House. I've seen how this person behaves in such a context, like in TMZ. TMZ is able to see things that we aren't able to see. But when one is a rishi, they have no sense of insecurity. Yad bhutva na punar bhavaha. When one is being, they stop becoming. Today's been a productive day in the sense that I also got to speak to the chaplains that are training to work at the VA in Seattle or wherever. And I explained to them what bhavaroga means. It was cool today. I got to speak about Sanatana Dharma freely. With no, you can't say this word, you can't present yourself like this. I got to speak about Sanatana Dharma to those who are not of the background of Sanatana Dharma. So it's kind of like this class too, no? And I explained to them what bhavaroga means, and the questions they were asking were so in tune with what was being shared. What a joy when you can share this most full message and someone is there to receive this. And this may be the first time ever they heard about bhavaroga. That lady had asked, so is nirvana a state of being then? Yes, nirvana is being. It was beautiful. That's what this line is teaching us, that being is most natural. There's no more becoming. Yajñatva na aparam neyam. Once you know the truth, does the not truth still hold our interest? It doesn't. Tat Brahma iti avadharayet. Acharya Shankara is saying, all of our experiences in life have not completed us thus far. No? The people who've been working for decades, you keep switching jobs, right? Why do you keep switching jobs? The people who keep moving between cities, why do you keep moving between cities? People who are not locked into relationships, why do you keep changing those? Those in relationships, why do you keep thinking about other relationships? Our whole lives, our experiences, whether we're seeing it, being it, thinking about it, whatever you want, has not completed us. So Acharya Shankara is saying, what are you doing? Once one knows Brahma to be themselves, that is completeness. Here is our sutra. Make truth the truth. Make truth the truth. Right now, the truth is not the truth for us. Right? The truth, and then we have so many other pursuits. But here, in this last line, it's the same as the previous shloka. Make truth the truth. If you're not living for the truth, what are you doing? Living a lie, no? If I'm living for a lie, then I am living a lie. And it sounds most harsh, but think. Nada.